Nigeria seems ready and all out to guard against the new import of the coronavirus as it declares that all 3 suspected cases of the virus in the country have tested negative and have all been allowed to go home. That's a message from the Lagos state government today. Apart from that, cheery news, the country's Center for Disease Control says it has 1.67 billion naira budget to effectively prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Hanire, is also giving Nigerians assurance that there is no cause for alarm as there is only 1 confirmed case of the virus in the country, which is still the Italian national.
We have benefited a lot from him.
The Minister of Health and officials from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control are in this hall to brief journalists about the current status of coronavirus in the country.
This is the continuation of
Since February 27th, when the first case was reported in Lagos, the ministry has continued to hold series of news conferences to create needed awareness, as well as dispel rumors making the rounds on social media. Just as he has done in other news conferences, the minister gives an update on the current status of the virus in the country.
Between the 7th of January and yesterday, 5th of March 2020, a total of 21 suspected cases were reported across 4 states in Nigeria. The states are Lagos, Ogun, FCT, and Kano. There is still only 1 confirmed case of COVID-19 in Nigeria, which is the index case, and no deaths. Therefore, as at today, the 6th of March 2020, I repeat that there is only 1 confirmed case of COVID-19 in Nigeria.
So far, 77 countries around the world have been affected by coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. 7 of these countries are in Africa, including Nigeria, South Africa, Cameroon, and Senegal. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control says it will need 1.67 billion naira to effectively prevent the spread of the virus, a request that the Minister of Health says has been approved.
For the first 28 days, we have a budget of about 1.67 billion to handle this COVID-19 response.
Every money, every amount they asked for was granted by federal government immediately. Government didn't waste time at all. But before once it's approved, you have to go through a process. You have to go through the Ministry of Finance, go through the budget, and so on. And in the meantime, NCDC said they want to make immediate procurements. So I gave them the go-ahead to tell their contractors to supply, and they will be paid after.
Globally, there are over 93,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19, resulting in over 3,000 deaths. And with the way the virus is spreading across borders, the need for Nigeria to step up its surveillance and preventive mechanism cannot be overemphasized.
More than 100,000 people have been affected by the coronavirus in more than 85 countries of the world. Among them is Togo, which reported its first case today, and a woman who returned recently to the country, having visited Benin, Germany, France, and Turkey. Meanwhile, the California State Governor Gavin Newsom is refusing to allow passengers on board a cruise ship off the coast to disembark until they have all been tested for the coronavirus.
The California governor's actions only portray caution like most countries battling the coronavirus outbreak. Action much needed as the World Health Organization says some countries are not well prepared for the disease and warns that all parties shall make efforts to prevent and control the epidemic. Just on Thursday alone, the World Health Organization's Director General said 2,055 cases were reported in 33 countries outside of China. Officials are concerned about the increasing number of countries reporting cases, now numbering over 100 countries.
We're concerned that some countries have either not taken this seriously enough or have decided there is nothing they can do. We're concerned that in some countries, the level of political commitment and the actions that demonstrate that commitment do not match the level of the threat we all face.
Peru today announced it had confirmed its first case of the disease. The patient is a 25-year-old man who traveled to Spain, France, and the Czech Republic. South American neighbors Argentina and Chile have also announced their first confirmed cases this week, while a number of cases have been confirmed in Brazil. The Vatican also reported a patient in its health services that tested positive for the coronavirus, the first in the tiny walled city-state surrounded by Rome. The death toll in Italy, however, stands at 148. Leaders say they've set aside 7.5 billion euros to support families and businesses facing the global emergency. South Korea says it's recorded 6,284 coronavirus cases and that several more deaths are being reported. One French lawmaker is said to be in intensive care, having contracted the virus. The number of cases have jumped in Germany, which is now reporting 534 confirmed cases of coronavirus. More than half of the cases, 281, are in the western region of North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany's most populous state. The use of hand sanitizers are becoming the norm in public places, and for some countries, the regular kissing that accompanies greetings has been advised against.
Moving on to other stories, the Nigerian Air Force says its attack aircraft has destroyed a terrorist camp at Alafa Sea in the heart of the Sambisa forest in Borno State. The airstrike, codenamed Operation Decisive Edge, follows confirmatory intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance missions, which the Air Force says it carried out. The target area was a settlement used by Boko Haram terrorists to house and train their fighters. The Air Force says its bombs and rocket salvos hit the target, destroying most of the structures and neutralizing some of the insurgents. Meanwhile, governors of states in the northeast have asked the attorneys general of their states to work out a modality to resolve the security challenges in the region. This resolution is contained in a 14-point communique adopted at the end of a consultative meeting of the region held in Gombe State. Other issues agreed at include how best to utilize the Northeast Development Commission for the development of the region. The economy, environment, power generation, and issues surrounding the discovery of oil were also discussed.
After exhaustive deliberations, we resolved as follows. 1. The forum noted with satisfaction the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission and thank Mr. President, the National Assembly, and all Nigerians for this monumental humanitarian support for the region. The forum is committed to providing all the necessary support to the Commission with a view to meeting its objectives. 2. The forum directed our Attorney Generals, that's the Attorney Generals of all the states, to look into the possibility of enhancing security in the sub-region within the ambit of law. 3. The forum demands that all projects that are to be implemented by the Northeast Development Commission should be delivered through a demand-driven approach that takes into consideration our unique needs and priorities.
Away from the northeast, all illegal structures and shanties across the Mile 2 school complex in Lagos State have finally been cleared to pave way for a proposed government project. But the action is not entirely going down well, with some displaced persons who want the state government to reconsider its decision by accommodating them in their plans.
Days after the demolition of illegal shops and shanties around school complex in Mile 2 area of Lagos, calm returns with students in school with a breath of fresh air. The clearing operation is still on, with officials of the Lagos State Ministry of Transport on the ground to monitor the towing of abandoned vehicles on site, while some of those displaced now operate on the sideway. This wing, which once served as an operational parking lot for operatives of the Lagos State Traffic Management Agency, vehicle inspection officers and the Federal Road Safety Corps, is also affected. Artisans and other traders asked the state government to review the process.
I feel very bad because I don't have money to start another business for like this. All my content, everything go. Just look at our boys, everybody sitting there without nothing. So I only come around to come and sit down. Maybe I will see somewhere to sit and sell.
Well, if Lagos State said they want to compensate people, the compensation we need from Lagos State as mechanic, as automatic technician, is to restore back here so that we can be working. Giving us money cannot take us to anywhere. If government said, oh yeah, mechanics, so move to this site, we're ready to move to that place so that we can just practice our job and work.
For now, this abandoned police station serves as a shelter for visiting mobile police officers temporarily deployed to the area. The coming days will, however, reveal the plans of the state government as it plans to turn the entire space around for public use.
The Assets Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, today seized several multi-billion naira properties across Lagos. AMCON enforcement units and sheriffs of the Federal High Court sealed up the properties in execution of a 2019 order of Justice Rilwan Aikawa of the Federal High Court. The properties belong to about 12 debtors said to be owing the federal government 8.4 billion naira. The seizure lasted several hours and took place simultaneously in Lekki, Apapa, Ikeja, Shomolu and Koshofe areas of Lagos. Last August, the federal government inaugurated an interagency committee to recover 5 trillion naira debts owed AMCON.